Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today I want to talk about skin tints, tinted moisturizers, serum foundations, all these light coverage, beautiful products that have been all the rage this last couple of years in the makeup scene. And I have quite a few of them because I'm a little bit into them. Just a little bit into them, like they are my favorite type of product to use. So I've got a good little collection here from a pretty decent range in price point, all the way down to like $6 to $50, maybe more, I can't remember. And a little bit of variance in the finishes and their claims and what they do. But I wanted to just kind of round them up, go over them and talk about all the ones I enjoy, what I like about them, what I might not be a huge fan of, which ones I think would suit who better, you know, the whole thing. Just a nice thorough roundup of the skin tint, light coverage type of products that I have been trying out this past while. So yeah, if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. But before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know your favorite skin tint products down below because I want to check them out. Because yeah, it's my favorite type of foundation. I love these lighter, natural looking foundation products. They're my favorite. Without further ado, let's get into the makeup talk. Right, so I have got quite a list here. We need to drink a coffee before we get into this. First one is the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum with 1% hyaluronic acid. You know, this one might be my number one out of all of these. I just really enjoy this one a lot. It has a really unique finish to it where it is not greasy, dewy, wet feeling on the skin, but it still has a beautiful skin-like glow, like a lit from within glow. Beautiful for mature skin, young skin. I think anybody could use this, but particularly I think mature skin would enjoy this one quite a bit. It kind of sets down. It doesn't feel tacky to the touch. Amazing wear time with this one. I really enjoy it quite a bit. It's got to be, I think, yeah, this might just be my favorite one. It's hard to choose, but this one has been an obvious go-to for me because look how much I've used. That's rare for me to like go through a product. So this retails for $19.99, which is pretty up there. A lot of these foundations that come out recently on the market have been a lot more expensive than what we're used to seeing at the drugstore. Now, some of that, of course, is inflation and economy things and all of that. But I have also noticed a difference in ingredients within these products. They are made with more skincare, a little bit more of a higher end formula within them. Like they're pretty comparable. So there's definitely something to the ingredient quality improving, as well as obvious inflation playing a role. This one has an okay shade range, probably not the most nuanced one in the world, but it's okay. It does have hyaluronic acid. It has luminous mineral pigments. To me, this one has a very natural kind of radiant finish where it's not super dewy or greasy or anything like that. It just has a really nice glow to it, but it does kind of set down and have incredible wear time. So it's really impressive about this one is that it is pretty long lasting, which I can't say for all of these, but this is definitely one of the longer lasting ones. Like, looks beautiful from beginning of the day to the end of the day. It kind of has a bit of a dry down to it, so it just kind of locks in a little bit. Throw a little powder over it, you're good to go. And it doesn't end up looking super oily at the end of the day, where some of these can potentially do that. I would recommend this one for all skin types, particularly more mature skin. I think would really enjoy this one because it does have a bit of a hydration to it and that glow, but it's a glow that doesn't emphasize texture at all. It looks very just natural skin-like and kind of youthful. It looks like you just have really good skincare on, and this does have a nice light to medium coverage. And this one is marketed to be hydrating, but I don't find it to be hydrating in the sense that it's slippy or greasy or oily. Like it's kind of perfect. And if you look closely to this one, you can see that it does have, well, I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but it does have like a little bit of a sheen within the formula, like some micro pearls in there, which I really enjoy in a foundation. I think it'll look really pretty. It kind of gives that hourglass ambient lighting look to the skin. It doesn't look glittery. It doesn't look, you're not looking like a Twilight vampire here or anything like that. It's just it's a beautifully formulated product, and I think all skin types could enjoy this one. And yeah, just it's definitely top tier for me. Next we have the Makeup Revolution Super Dewy. This one I had mixed feelings about. Like at first I didn't really like it that much until I kind of played with it a little more and got to where I figured out how I like it. This one is marketed more as a skin tint, tinted moisturizer type product. It's a little bit thicker in formula, has more of that traditional tinted moisturizer feel to it, where it does have that kind of dewy feel, like it feels like a moisturizer on your skin. It doesn't set down or anything. It's a rather thick formula, but it blends out really easily. It's one you can throw on with your fingers and just kind of use to get out the door. If you're just looking for just the lightest bit of coverage and a bit of moisturizer type of thing on the skin, this is one I'll reach for like before I go to the gym, that kind of thing, where I'm not wanting to look like I have makeup on, but I just like my skin to look a little more even. That one's good for that type of occasion. I think I gave it a pretty negative review when I first got it, like on first impression, and after using it a couple times, I felt like it was very patchy and just wasn't sitting well. And I don't know what happened, if it was maybe the skincare I was applying it with or what was just not working. But recently I was cleaning out my makeup and saw it and I was like, let's just give this another go before we declutter it and see if it really is as crappy as I think it is. And it's not that bad. I do use it before going to the gym. Now it's going to emphasize texture. It's definitely not a blurring product, even though they market it to be. It's going to show texture. It is very much dewy, and that's a pretty apt name for this. I don't know what I expected otherwise. But this does retail for $12, which is not a bad price point. I think you get a good bit of product in here. Yeah, you're getting over an ounce. You get 1.85 fluid ounces, so that's pretty good. It has an incredibly limited shade range, so that's one downside to it as well. It claims to be a blend of skincare and makeup, light coverage with a dewy finish, a very dewy finish. It claims to blur imperfections, which I think it does kind of the opposite of that as far as like pores and wrinkles or anything like that. It's gonna show texture more just because the nature of the product. It's not quite as refined as some of the other ones on the market, but it does even skin tone as it claims to do. And yeah, it's a sheer hint of coverage and very much sheer light product. It's nice for if you just want something to throw on your face and you're not too worried about things looking absolutely perfect. It is truly like a no makeup type of product, just for something just a little evening out. It's not top tier, so I really wouldn't bother with it. I more just tried to find a way to make it work because I bought it and I didn't want to just throw it out and declutter it. So I was like, let me just give it another go. And I don't hate it, but there are definitely days where it looks not great on my skin and some days it looks better. It's not a product I can really count on. Next, we have the number 7 Restore and Renew Multi-Action Serum Foundation. And this has an SPF of 20. Now, this one's marketed to more mature skin, which doesn't really matter to me. I think any age could use this. And this is one of the most, I think, refined formulas as far as the ingredients go at the drugstore. Like, this truly has a ton of skincare in it and a lot of claims going on. It's a really unique product. Beautiful finish. It's a really beautiful finish on it. It retails for $19.99, so it's comparable in price to the L'Oreal. It doesn't have the best shade range in the world, but it's better than previous releases from number 7. Like, it actually has some deeper shades in there, but there's definitely some gaps in there that can be filled in. It's not the most nuanced shade range, but it's definitely not their worst, because it claims to improve the 5 key signs of aging. It's a buildable light to medium coverage, and it is formulated with collagen, pro-retinol, ginseng extract, vitamin C, vitamin E. About to sound like I was doing a Queen Herbie song there. Vitamin C, vitamin E, I can't remember the rest of the words. Anyways, and hibiscus extract. It has their Restore Renew serum technology within it. Number 7 is, I think, really known for their skincare. They're really a high-end quality skincare line and brand, and they sell at more of a drugstore price point. A little expensive for on the drugstore end of things, but still like I think the formulas and the quality of everything that they make is like hands down something you would pay 3 times as much at Sephora for. So they definitely hit out of the park as far as that goes. The only problem, my biggest complaint with them is that their shade range is usually lacking across the board, but this one they did try to improve on that with, and I think they are kind of reworking some of their lines, so they may have increased shade ranges since the last time I looked. The wear time on this one is not the top end amazing out of all of them. Like, it has a decent wear time, but I think the L'Oreal has a better one. This one will start to kind of break down, get a little oilier looking at about the 6-hour mark on me, and I have combo leaning oily skin, and the finish on this is a kind of natural skin, like a little bit glowy but not super duper glowy. It doesn't have the pearlescence in it. It's just a truly very serum like product, and I think the coverage level is nice. It always have a good makeup day with this one. It's a very reliable, kind of trusty foundation. To me, this is going to be a little bit of a crowd pleaser of all these products. It's going to have something I think everybody could like about it, unless you like matte foundations. Then I do have one for you that you might like. But as far as finish goes, this one is a little bit more dewy. Again, I think it'd be beautiful on mature skin. I don't notice it emphasize texture or anything. When I'm wearing it, it looks really just pretty and just all around nice. Like, there's nothing I can complain about with this one aside from a little bit of a lacking shade range. I think this is just top tier. Really good product. It would be hard to find a serum foundation from a high-end to luxury brand that outperformed this one. And it does have those really nice kind of added skincare benefits to it, which to me is just a nice little more is more thing. I'm not looking to my foundation for skincare, but I'm not going to get mad at it if it does have some skincare in it. Even though this one is, again, marketed to mature skin, I think that anybody could use this and it would be beautiful across the board on everybody. All right, next we have one from Laura Mercier. This one I'm a little bit newer to using, and I just have a small sample of it, but I've tried it out and give it a good use. So this isn't going to be, I can't tell you much about the wear time on this one, but what I can tell you is that it is absolutely stunning on the skin. So what I have on today, it is very, very glowy. So there is that. This is a super glowy product, but this is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Light Revealer. This retails for $53, but it looks like $53 on the skin. It is so pretty. I was just like, oh no, I love it. I didn't want to like it because it's $53. But it has an okay shade range, not the best, not the worst. It's just kind of eh. And it has radiant pearls hand selected for each shade, which I think is really nice. It means it's not going to just have the one color pearl in it, which a lot of them do. And they tend to be kind of just pearl looking. This one actually has a pearl that matches the shade of the foundation, which I think is a really nice nuance within there. It's a light coverage with a very radiant finish, and it is a little dewy on the skin. It doesn't set down or anything like that. It has a very tinted moisturizer feel to it. Formula, it's not super thick, whereas like the super dewy here is very, very thick. This has the glow from it being moisturizing as well as the pearl in it, but I don't notice it emphasizing a lot of texture or pores in my face, like a little bit because it's a super glowy product. But to me, it looks like Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Filter with a little more coverage is what it looks like on the face. And when I first put it on, I was just kind of like, oh, damn it. This is really pretty, and I did not want to fall in love with it, but it's gorgeous. Now, I can't speak to the wear time on it yet, but it's absolute just stunning on the skin. Like, my skin looks juicy. It looks healthy. It is not settling into any fine lines. Like, it is just floating across the skin so beautifully. And again, the pores look nice. Like, I don't see any exaggerated texture at all. my skin looks like my skin, just glowy. And this is what I wanted this to be like. So yeah, I'm gonna have to buy the full size of this because I'm obsessed now. And it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I think even though my skin does lean a little bit oilier, I think all skin types could enjoy this product. It just depends on your preferences there, if you like something that's glowy or not. Yeah, I think this is one that could work across the board for young skin, mature skin, in between skin, all the things there. And it feels like it plumps the skin up, like it looks juicy on the skin. Like it definitely has a wonderful moisturizing element to it, and I really like it. It also does have a SPF of 25. Again, when it comes to SPFs and skincare in foundation, that is just an added bonus. It is not the source of SPF or skincare for me. I'm a firm believer in a separate SPF, but I was highly impressed with the Laura Mercier one. It really has an elegance to it where it doesn't just look like your typical glowy tinted moisturizer. Like it just looks really pretty across the skin. Like I think it looks so nice around like my fine lines. Gorgeous stuff. And it is a light coverage, but it does kind of even things out and just look really pretty. It's very pretty. Next is a Pure Lease Perfect Glow BB Cream with an SPF of 30. This is an oil-free, moisturizing, natural-looking coverage matte meets glowy foundation. And this is for all skin types, even sensitive, which I appreciate with something with SPF in it because I have a lot of SPF allergies. I'm allergic to most chemical SPFs and especially more affordable ones. This retails for $36. It does not have the best shade range. It is pretty limited. It has a light buildable coverage. Incredible wear time with this one. That's one of the most impressive things about it was the wear time. Shocked because this does not seem like a product that would have insanely good wear time, but it does. This is meant to improve the skin's complexion, soften an even skin tone, hydrate the skin, help reduce fine lines, wrinkles, dark spots, dullness, and other signs of aging. And yeah, this I think applies beautifully, very easy to use. You could do it with your fingers if you needed to. I usually apply most of these with a brush. I find to be the most effective method. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous product here. Great wear time, and what's nice about this one is that it does have a glow to it, but it also dries down to a matte feel on the skin. So this would be one that I would definitely recommend if you're a little bit more on the oily side, but you also like glowy foundations like me. This will be like that perfect formula as far as that goes. Like it actually sets down and I don't even have to powder it, and it wears so beautifully all day. I can get a sheer coverage from it. I can build it up a little bit if I need to, and it is perfect. It is a perfect glow product. Very, very good. This is probably one of my top favorite ones as well. Like, I love all these. Who am I kidding? But this one is distinctly good and unique with the finish that it leaves on the skin, with that having that matte feel, but having that little bit of pearlescent glow to it. It is beautiful. It's a little more subtle than some of the other ones. So yeah. This is gorgeous stuff, and I like that it has some added skincare benefits, which most of the CCBB products do. And speaking of, we have the IT Cosmetics New Glow CC Cream, and this is a color correcting medium coverage skin tint with brightening glow serum and an SPF of 40. This retails for $47. It has a pretty decent shade range, like pretty good. Light to medium coverage, in my opinion. I think you can definitely sheer it out and wear it as a light coverage product and build it up to more of a full coverage finish. It has a gorgeous, very glowy finish to it, but a decent wear time. I don't find it to be where it melts off your face or anything like that. Like it wears pretty well. It is pretty glowy on the glowy scale of things. It might be almost at the Laura Mercier level of glow, but not quite there. I don't think it has any, can't tell if it has the pearl pigment in there or not really, but yeah, it does have a lot of skincare within it. It claims to have a dewy finish, which it does, But what's nice about this one, even though it has the dewy, glowy finish, it's one that's not going to emphasize texture. It looks very, very flawless and pretty on the skin. It has a beautiful finish and has a blurring quality to it that is amazing, especially in a glowy product. So this one, I think, if you have more of a mature skin type or a lot of texture issues or something, but you still want something glowy, this is definitely the one to look at for that. It is also made with niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and green tea extract. So yeah, this is beautiful. I don't get to use this one very often because this shade's a little deep on me. So I have to have self-tan on to make it work for me most of the time. But yeah, stunning product. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous on the skin. Like very much a diffused look to the skin. A really nice blurring quality. And I love that one. Trust me, I promise there's some in here I don't like. I promise. They're part of this roundup. Next we have the Super Stay 24-hour skin tint from Maybelline. This is another one that's a little bit more unique and different from some of the others. It kind of stands out, as in this one has incredible wear time. I mean, incredible wear time. I don't know about 24 hours, but this one survives leg day at the gym for me. So, I mean, that's saying something. It has a gorgeous, like, kind of pearlescence in it, and a little bit more pearly than the True Match Hyaluronic Serum one. And this one also has a bit more of a dry down to a bit of a matte feel on the skin, like almost powdery feel to it, but it has the gorgeous glow in there. It has that lit from within look, very similar to an hourglass powder, if you will. I always compare stuff to that. I know. But yeah, this one, I think if you are combo leaning oily, you could also really enjoy this one. If you're really, really dry, I don't think this would be the one to go for because it will kind of emphasize flaky skin and kind of cling to it because it has that bit more of that powdery-ish feel to it. And it is formulated with vitamin C. It has a pretty okay shade range. It's a weird shade range. Like, there's a ton of shades within it that look exactly the same with just a different undertone, and then there's like 2 deep shades. I don't usually struggle finding my shade. I'm usually the lightest shade, and oddly in this one I was like 2 shades up, which is weird for me. It's a buildable light to medium coverage, and it is very buildable. It doesn't emphasize texture or anything like that. It looks beautiful on the skin. It has what I would describe as skin-like natural radiance to it. It is meant to resist sweat and humidity and fading. I think it is a really solid product. My friend Claire picked it up as well, and she's really enjoying it. And we have different skin types. So yeah, if you can find this in your shade and want to shell out $17.99, I think this is a really nice one. If you like the hyaluronic tinted serum, if you like the True Match hyaluronic tinted serum from L'Oreal, I think you would like this one as well. Like, they're not too dissimilar from one another, but I think the wear time on this one's a little better, and this one might be a little bit better for oilier skin types than this one, but this one I think can work fine on oily skin also. But I just feel like you'd have better luck. And if you're a drier skin type, I wouldn't mess with this one. Whereas the True Match from L'Oreal, I think you could definitely use. Next, I don't have in front of me because it is in my declutter basket somewhere. So here's a negative one for you. The Revlon Illuminates. I absolutely hated this one. No, it was not for me. But let me tell you a little bit about it before I trash it completely. It retails for $17.99. This is the Revlon Illuminate Skin Caring Foundation. It does have a really good shade range, I will tell you that. Like, it was probably one of the better shade ranges out of all of these. It is meant to boost skin's radiance. Light to medium coverage, claims to be buildable. It's supposed to promote smoother skin over time. Great for dry skin. It has squalane and hyaluronic acid in it. Okay, here's my complaint with this one. It's patchy. My skin basically repelled it for some reason, and I swear I used half the bottle trying to make it work for me. I tested this one so much and like revisited it recently just to make sure that I didn't like it. And yeah, I don't like it. It breaks up instantly on my face. It just goes patchy and weird. Nothing wants to play well with it. It is dewy, as in like a tinted moisturizer dewy, as well as having a pearlized finish in it. And to me, it's just a little overkill on both of those things. And just emphasizes every bit of texture. It somehow clings to dry patches and any flake you might have on your face, like a little flaky piece of skin. Oh, it's gonna find it and it's gonna cling to it, and it's gonna just sit really weird in your pores. Well, it sits really weird in my pores, and just, it has to be the worst one of these products I've tried in a very long time. Like, worst foundations I've tried in a really long time. Like, I was just highly disappointed in it. I think maybe if you have very dry skin, but you don't have any flakiness on your skin, you could probably get it to work. Probably. But to me, it's worth just completely skipping, in my opinion. And yeah, for $17.99, I'm not happy that I didn't like it. I should have returned it, but I was dead set on trying to make it work or find what was conflicting with it. And it didn't matter what I did. It just looked like absolute trash on my face. And I feel like it made my skin look like orange peel texture. Just not good. Not good at all. So next we have the Rare Beauty Positive Light Skin Tint. This retails for $30. It's cute little packaging right here. I just think it's lovely looking. Rare Beauty, to me, knocks it out of the park with their packaging and just aesthetic. I think there's something very comforting about it and just cozy in a way. It's cozy yet elevated. Like, there's something, I don't know what it is about it. I think Selena Gomez knows how to make some very appealing looking products. And yeah, this is no exception. Like, this is a really nice looking little bottle. I would say it is a plastic little squeezy tube. It has an SPF of 20. This has light coverage with radiant finish. This one claims to have a blurring effect while being very hydrating and protecting the skin with the SPF in it. Okay, I wouldn't call this one to be the most blurring on the market. Like, it's kind of, it's alright, but it's not, I wouldn't tell that it's blurring. But it's a pretty product. I think it's a little bit, This one's probably the mid-tier out of all of them for me. Like, it's an okay one. Would I go out of my way to repurchase it? No, I would not, but it's nice, and I think it looks pretty. I don't think it's the most, like, blurring product, but it is very moisturizing and hydrating. It has an okay wear time. There's nothing really remarkable about this one is the thing. Like, it's okay. It looks pretty on the skin, but it's not wowing me where some of these other ones really wow me. Now, in finish, I think it looks pretty similar to the number 7 Restore and Renew. Like, I think they're pretty comparable in appearance on the skin, but I would go with the number 7 over the Rare Beauty one because of the added skincare in it and the better price points. But this is nice. It's not bad at all. This is, still nice, but I just wouldn't want to spend the $30 price point on it. It's not that impressive to me. It feels just kind of just a generic skin tint type product. I wasn't wowed by it. But that being said, it's not a bad product. It's just kind of, it's alright. Editing Anna here, popping in real quick because I just remembered I forgot one more serum that we need to talk about. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation with SPF 50. This one is another one of the top tier, really beautiful products. This one's a little more dewy, doesn't have quite as long a wear time as the others. I'll pop the information on the screen on the price and everything like that because I didn't have time to pull it. I just saw it sitting here. I was like, ah, crap. That was one I didn't even add to my list for some reason. And this is one that I have loved for a very long time. I think it's a beautiful product. Great for mature skin. It is very, very hydrating. I would recommend it definitely to more drier skin types, but I still love it, even though I have a bit of an oilier skin type. And it has a very beautiful, kind of flawless look to it on my skin. Pretty comparable to the IT Cosmetics CC Nude Glow, just with a little less of the radiance, but still fairly glowy. Great product, hands down, 10 out of 10 with this one. And lastly, the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. This one snuck up on me. It comes in at $6, and it has probably what I would think the ugliest packaging I've ever seen. I don't know why, I just don't like this minty green color. It just looks very cheap, and I mean, it's $6, but it's a product that I looked over for quite a while just because I didn't like the way the packaging looked. I was like, I don't know. It just did nothing for me as far as that goes. And I know that sounds really silly to do that, but there's just something, I'm just kind of, I wasn't interested in it. But I picked it up on a whim and have not regretted it since. This has to be one of the most beautiful ones at the drugstore. But I am so glad that I got over my dislike of the packaging, because this is one of the most beautiful skin tints within the bunch here. Like, it is absolutely stunning. It has a terrible shade range, though. That was one thing when I was looking up details about these products, I noticed the shade range on this one is awful. But this is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator Tinted Skin Veil. The name is freaking ridiculous. Why is it named that? I don't know. Too long. Too many words in there. Another complaint. But it does only retail for $6, which is insane because this looks like a high-end product on the skin. Sheer to medium coverage. It is a little bit buildable. I think it is one of those very adjustable coverage levels. Can be sheer, build up to a light medium coverage. It claims to have a semi-matte finish, which I think is an interesting way to describe it. Very similar to the finish of the Pure Elise, like possibly a nice little dupey type product there. Very similar type of finish where it's that it kind of sets down, but it has a beautiful glow to it at the same time. It has hyaluronic acid in it and squalane. So, I mean, that's pretty cool for $6. It has the added skincare in there. Performs on par, if not better, than a lot of these other products. Like, this one is definitely top tier. Don't sleep on it like I did for a little while just because the packaging looks a little crappy. It is phenomenal. This also claims to have a non-greasy finish, which is really nice. And it definitely, no greasiness. It doesn't feel like a tinted moisturizer. It has a bit of that almost dry down to it. It feels similar to like the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. Actually, if you were looking for a dupe of this, just get this. Very, very, very similar product. Fantastic wear time on this one. I mean, yeah, great dupe right here for this one. And $6 versus $20. You could still dupe things even at the drugstore for something cheaper. Very comparable to the Pure Elise as well. Just all around fantastic. If I had to pick one out of this whole bunch and took everything into account from price point to finish to wear time and everything, this one wins. This is number one right here. The Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. Tinted Skin Veil. Like, come on with the name. I'm tempted to take points off for the name and the ugly packaging, but I'm not. All things considered, number one right here. Okay, that is it. That is all the skin tints that I have to talk about in foundation serums. Very like products, tinted moisturizers. To me, they all kind of fall into that same just light coverage category, in my opinion. And yeah, let me know what you think of any of these down below. Have you tried them? Any of them your favorites? Do you dislike them? Let me know down below. And if there's one that you love that I didn't cover on this list, drop that in the comments because I'm going to have to run out and buy it. I'm also going to need to go buy a full size of this Laura Mercier one because I'm kind of obsessed with it as well. But that being said, Wet n Wild one, get it. Get it. I think it can work on all skin types, by the way. That's all for today. I know this was a long one. I had a lot of product to talk about apparently and a lot of thoughts. So yeah, again, let me know your favorites down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.